Hello everyone. So today I'm gonna start a new series that focus on implementing a game like Age of Empires using C++. So we will explore things like how to have these units with multiple characters and how to control them, what are the other UI UX elements, and other ways to use different types of characters. Basically uh, standard stuff that you see in games like this. So the reason that I wanted to do it in C++ is because I have already done another tutorial series using blueprints, and I kind of wanted to see what are the things that I can do C++ and just curious and just wanted to try it. So nothing specifically wrong with blueprints or anything. I just needed to try in C++ for a change. Okay, before we get started, let me remind you that there are over 2000 videos in this channel, and for each video project files are available in my Patreon page. Once you become a member, you can get access to project files without any limit, so feel free to check it out. I'll leave the link in description below. So there are projects that covers a wide range of topics: shooters, strategies, space games, top-downs, anything you can imagine most probably are there. Alright, so yeah, let's get back to today's tutorial. So let's create a brand new C++ project. Select C++, no need to add any of these templates, just keep it blank. Project name CLM CP RTS, hit create. And while we are waiting to load the engine, here is the blueprint series that I did for a strategy game. So here you see all the camera controls, edge scrolling and box selection, unit selection, outlines. I did a bunch of tutorials here as well, so I'll leave the link in description if you're interested at. So here also we will do the same things, but with C++, and then we will try to go beyond the things that I have covered here, like units, especially regarding to units, like having units with many different many number of characters. Yeah, I was only focused on more like the controls basically. All right, so here we have our project. When I play, nothing is there, just the default stuff like this. And then here we have the C++ project, Visual Studio project. First here, let's make sure that this is the default project. Let's start project, save everything. Okay, now I don't want to implement everything in this project. I want to implement, the first thing that we are going to implement is the basic controller for this game, that we will see the project, that we will see the map in like a top-down view, somewhat similar to Age of Empires. So that's what we are going to work on first. So here, let's go to settings and plugins. I'm going to add this as a plugin. So bind to it like as a plugin. I would be easily able to use the same stuff that we develop here in another project as well. We just have to copy the plugin, then it would be ready to use in another project. So that's why. Okay, add. Here I'll select a blank plugin and I'll name it down utilities, because we will be implementing the basic top-down controller here, right? And I selected blank, create. Okay, so reload. Now the stuff for the plugin is added to the project, C++ project. Now let's go back here. Oh, it's still playing. Okay. Compile once more, just to make sure that, oh, we have an error. I didn't even do anything. Okay, let's close and build the project from here. Oh, wait, mutex. This usually happens when we have a running instance of project already in the memory. Let me wait a second and try again. Still no. Okay, now it works. Alright, build succeeded. Open the project. Here we are. Let me save this map. I'll save this to the plugin folder itself. Levels. Let's call it demo. Right, now the first thing I want to add is a player pawn. That means, yeah, let's go to tools, new C++ class, pawn. So we are not going to use a character here. We just need something that allows us to move around the world. We don't really need a character or any physical entity. We just need to fly around the map and look at different places, so that later on we will implement a system to select characters that are already in the map and control them. But this is just a player entity that represents player, more like a controller, just to move around the map. Okay, so pawn. Next, let's just call it controller pawn. I'll add it under top-down utilities. Otherwise it will be, if I select this, it will be added to the project itself. Okay, hit create, and it's compiling. Okay, live coding succeeded. Here, reload. Now here you have the header file of the pawn and the C++ file of the pawn. Alright, now let's go here. C++ class, top-down utilities. Here we have controller pawn, C++ class. From this, let's create a blueprint class, because it's useful to have a blueprint child of the C++ class, so we can do stuff like doing minor adjustments or assigning values to variables, overriding them, things like that easily in the blueprint instance. So maybe space. So let's add a new folder under top-down utilities content. So frame. Go here, create blueprint, and select plugins, top-down utilities, blueprints, game framework. I'll call this EP controller. Great. Now, as you can see, there is nothing here, just the default scene root. So I want to have a capsule component and a spring arm and a camera attached to this pawn. and also a floating moment component. So we will be able to put this pawn in the world and add some moment inputs and move around, and we will have a camera to see all those things in a top-down view. So let's go back to C++, header file of the controller pawn. So if I add something here, it would be by default the access specifier is private, but just to make things clear, I'll just add the private. And here, first thing I need to add is capsule component. So first thing we need to do is we need to add a U property that's somewhat like metadata about this variable that we are going to add. First thing is this should be visible anywhere. So this component that we are going to add should be visible everywhere. And then blueprint read only. So I don't want to set this variable through blueprints, or from the blueprints I only need to access this, I only need to read this component. And category, let's add a category also. Let's say region. Allow private access to true. So the purpose of that is this. Yeah, read more about that. This is also used in the C++ third-person template as well. So as a good practice, I'm going to keep following that. Right. And the component is your capsule component. Capsule component. The error is because I haven't added the header file, but I'm not going to add a header file. Instead, I'm going to do a forward declaration like this. I would recommend you to read why use forward declaration instead of directly using the header file. So here is a detailed explanation. The key points are it reduces build time and also breaks cyclic references. But I don't want to go into more details on that. So yeah, your capsule component is added here. And in the same way, I need to add a camera boom or spring arm. I'll just call it spring arm and camera. So these also needs to be defined as forward declarations. So I'll add it here like this. Okay, now we have variables for these components, but they are not these are just the variable names. So we need to actually create it in the constructor. That means here, if I press Ctrl and click, you can go there. And first thing is creating the capsule. Create capsule. So capsule component equals create default subobjects. This is going to be in the type of your capsule component, and the name of that is, just call it capsule component. Okay, so here we would need to add this capsule component header and set component as the capsule component. Now let's recompile just to make sure things are okay. Right, open. Okay, now here we have at the root a capsule component for our controller board. Okay, now let's go here, create all other objects as well. That means the spring arm and camera. Okay, spring. First again, create default sub object. Use spring arm component text. Points. And Bloomberg spring arm component. And for the camera default sub object component text. Okay, so now we need to attach the camera to the end of a spring arm. So to do that, spring arm the attachment, yeah. And we need to attach our camera to the root component, which is the capsule in our case. And then sorry, no, set attach, let's just say attach components, and then we need to attach camera to the spring arm. Set up attachment spring. Okay, we get the error because we didn't add the header, which is this. Alright, now if I go here, compile, compilation done. Yeah, nothing is there yet. Oh, right, now we have. So I had to press compile again to refresh this. So here we have the spring arm. By default it has a length of 300 and camera attached to the end of it. So let me place this here. This is how it works by default, and let me go ahead and process it. Now this is how it looks. I'll keep the visibility of the capsule in the game so we can see something that represents the character. So it's like this. Here, let me change the game mode to game mode so we can get rid of that sphere appears here. Okay, so this is not the way I want to look. I want to see the game. So we should be seeing it in an angle like this, more like this. So we can also do this in the C++ as well, but here I'll just do it like this. 1500. So it should be at an angle, maybe 30. This is how it looks. And I just set some rotation here. Okay, now if I play, this is how it looks. But we are still having a perspective projection. So we need to have orthographic projection or like a isometric. So actually we can change that in here as well. Oh, we can't. So I just did some digging and it looks like this detail panel not showing now. It's a bug. So yeah, that's fine for now. But the solution that they are suggesting is reparenting. But if I reparent, I will have to redo the spring arm changes I did here, but that's not much. So here, change this to form reparent. So now we don't have anything here. And then uh, now we have details, and these the changes we did here is lost, but that's fine. We can, they're not much. Process this. Oh, good. Okay, so the page will be 45. All right. Uh, the visibility of the capsule should be on. Okay, so here we have. Oh, I was going to work on the projection mode. I was saying I can change it here also if needed. So I select it. This is the way it looks. But if you don't want to do that in the blueprint level, set this. Go here. While I was looking into why the details not showing up, I added this part which was not there, and I just reordered this spring arm component setup attachment. I moved it to here. Okay, and for the camera projection mode, projection mode, projection, camera projection mode, orthographic. You can do it here as well, in case you're wondering. Alright, now we have a phone. Yeah, see, now it's already changed to orthographic here. But if you want to change things like auto width or anything, feel free to do it here. This is how it looks. Right, now the next step is getting inputs to this phone so that we can move around the world. And for that we will create a custom player controller for the top-down mode, but we will do that in the next episode. So thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available here for download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in another episode. Goodbye.